So we're going to have a look at a C2 vocabulary test on this website, Exam English, and I hope I don't get any of the questions wrong. I hope I don't. But this is quite difficult. It's C2 level, proficiency level English. So if I get anything wrong, it's it's understandable. It's perfectly possible that a native speaker could get some answers wrong here. It doesn't mean I'm not a brilliant teacher. I am. Anyway, let's go straight into it. It's 50 questions, so it's fairly long. Let's get started. So, number one, I'm afraid that the argument really doesn't hold water, hold firm, hold sense, hold meaning. Well, we would say it doesn't make sense and it doesn't have any meaning, maybe. So it's going to be hold firm or hold water. The arguments, so what you are saying, what we're trying to say here doesn't seem likely. It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like what you're saying is consistent with the other evidence that we have. And I think we would say it doesn't hold water. Correct, yes. So I was actually worried for a second there. I was doubting it. It's hold water, yes. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. We've got 1 out of 1. So, the UN, the United Nations, la ONU, the United Nations has called for an immediate of hostilities. It has called for an immediate deletion, cessation, cancellation, ceasefire of hostilities. So, no deletion, we're not deleting anything, no. A cancellation, you don't cancel hostilities. Cessation, yes, you would want to cease hostilities, so it would be a cessation of hostilities, I think. A ceasefire, you could say an immediate ceasefire, but a ceasefire means when you stop fighting, so that is a word which would encompass hostilities. So I think we would say a cessation of hostilities or an immediate ceasefire. So it's of hostilities, we would say a cessation of hostilities. Yes, 2 out of 2. Excellent, wonderful. Okay, unfortunately his report doesn't, with what we've learnt from other sources, doesn't pally, rally, tally, pally, ally, pally, ally, rally, tally. I've got to admit, I don't know what pally means. I'm pretty sure it would have to be tally here. So what we're saying is that his report doesn't add up. No, so to tally is when you when we draw lines like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's to tally how many we've got of something. So if someone has made a report and we have other evidence, other fuentes, other sources, no, you would have to say it doesn't tally with what we've learned from other sources. I think, please. Yes, it's correct. 3 out of 3. I don't think I'm going to get 50 out of 50. I can see already that I'm going to have to check some things. But yeah, 3 out of 3. It's a good start. The government is doing all it can to war on dangerous driving. Okay, yeah, to launch wage battle stage. Well, yes, to wage war. I think there's an expression in Spanish which would be something like, I think you say librar una guerra. No, to basically challenge something, to fight against something. We say to wage war. It's just a collocation, it's an expression. So yeah, wage war. Number 5, Tamara has set her on becoming a ballet dancer. She has set her heart on becoming a ballet dancer. Yes, she has decided that that is the thing that she most wants in the world. She has set her heart. When you set your heart on something, you are determined. You have made the decision. You are absolutely decided and determined to do something. She wants to become a ballet dancer. She has set her heart on becoming a ballet dancer. Okay, number 6. I don't think Paul will ever get married. He's the stereotypical bachelor. So, settled, fixed, confirmed, determined bachelor. I think I think what we're saying here, I think the expression is that I think it's a confirmed bachelor, and it means confirmed in the sense of sort of like religious ceremony, that you have gone through a confirmation process. You are an official bachelor. I hope after that explanation I've got this right. I have. He's a confirmed bachelor. 6 out of 6. Okay, good. I felt with the writer from his descriptions of a world that seemed to have a great deal in common with my own. I felt, I think we would say I felt an affinity. No, I felt like I had a sense that there was a similarity between us. I felt there was a connection. I felt there was there's another expression, but yeah, I think it has to be affinity here. Yeah. Okay, number 8. Marlene is quite I don't know she manages to fit everything. I think we're missing a word there. It should say I don't know how she manages to fit everything in. So she is indefatigable, I think. Yeah, so when we say she can't fit everything, I don't know how she fits everything in, how she manages to fit everything in. We're saying I don't know how she has time or the energy to do all of the things that she does. So she is indefatigable. She cannot be made tired. Yeah. 8 out of 8. This is going better than I expected. One of the most powerful pressure groups in the country is the road and car, which opposes any legislation that will increase taxes specifically for them. So, yeah, what we call pressure groups, political groups, they could be environmentalists, they could be working for any kind of sector, any kind of business sector, of course, but we include charities, people who are well, for example, in Spain, a pressure group might be the ones that are in favour of bullfighting, the ones that are against, the animalist groups that are against bullfighting. These are all pressure groups. And we call them lobbies as well. So one of the most powerful pressure groups in the country is the road and car lobby. Yeah. There is a very strong movement now against sports like hunting and shooting. There is a movement against now hunting and shooting, so killing animals. I think we call them blood sports. Yes, good. Okay, to popular belief, Pluto is not a planet. So for some reason now, Pluto isn't a planet. I'm not sure the specific reason. Contrary to popular belief is what we would say, yeah. It was a close but we just made it to the airport on time for our flight. So we nearly missed our flight at the airport, but we didn't. It was a close call. Ooh, don't want to press the wrong one. It was a close call, but we just made it to the airport in time. Yeah. Well, this is going well. We'd all be at school together for 12 years, and at our leaving celebrations, eternal friendship. Right. So now this is quite a difficult one. This is a word here. So we've got pledged, assured, undertook, and confided. Well, so we were at school together for 12 years, and when we were leaving school, we all said to each other, we made this kind of promise, this almost like a verbal contract, and we would say we pledged eternal friendship. We pledged, there we go. We pledged eternal friendship. Yeah. That's definitely what we would say. Every year many small, I think again there's an error here. It should say every year many small companies get up by large multinationals. So what happens to small companies is multinationals swallow them up. Yes, they get swallowed up by large multinationals. Yes, so they get devoured, they get eaten, they get eliminated from the free market by these big conglomerates. 15. Do you have any figures showing the of left-handedness in the general population? The occurrence, incidence, persistence, accidence. So what we want to say here, so when we say figures, we're talking about data, information, graphs, something like that. Do you have any statistics that show the incidence? So the incidence is like the how common something is. No, the there's another word that's not coming out. Yeah, how common it is to be left-handed, left-handedness. So the incidence of left-handedness in the general population. Yeah, good. Okay, 15 out of 15. This is going better. I'm getting more confident as the minutes wear on here. In the course of his long life in business, George G. Matthews, a substantial fortune, assembled a substantial fortune, compiled a substantial fortune, amassed a substantial fortune, and totaled a substantial fortune. Again, this is really just a collocation. We would, I think I'm right in saying that we amass a fortune. Yes, yeah, he amassed a substantial fortune. He made a lot of money. Now, okay, yeah, we say it's just a collocation, to amass a fortune. Okay, so we're on 16 out of 16. Good. Number 17. The country has few natural resources and its economy has been, for some time now, has been diseased, unwell, ailing or sickening. Again, we talk about an economy when it is not healthy, figuratively speaking. When an economy is not doing well, we say it is ailing. Ailing means to be getting ill. It's a bit of an antiquated term. We don't normally talk about people being ailing. Sometimes we do, but more in a figurative sense, we'll talk about a company that is ailing, or an economy in general in this context, in this example. The boys ran out of the old man's garden when he his fist and shook his stick at them. So he what did he do? He scrunched his fist. Scrunch is maybe what you would do with I don't know, maybe like a ball of paper. He clasped something is when you kind of grab something. Gritted, you grit your teeth. No, he clenched his fist. He clenched his fist. Again, just a collocation. We don't really clench anything else. You just clench your fist. A few other things can be clenched, but mainly your fists. It was so hot in the restaurant that after half an hour we were all starting to wilt. Well, no, that's what flowers do. Shrivel. I guess that's kind of what something like skin or a flower or a plant might do as well. A piece of paper would shrivel, I guess. Fade is when something starts to visually disappear or become less colourful. To weed. So, weed, I don't think so. Either. Weed is when you remove... weeds are malas hierbas, no? The plants that are damaging to other more ornamental flowers and plants around them. So we wouldn't weed. So what would we do? It was so hot in the restaurant that after an hour we were all starting to... It's not going to be fade or weed. I think it would be shrivel. I think we would say figuratively wilt, maybe. Yes. Yes, so wilt, I think in Spanish is marchitarse, something like that. Yeah, so it's being figurative. That's what a flower does, isn't it? It sort of, as it dies, it wilts, you know. So it was so hot we were wilting. Anyway, number 20. The of things was that he was sacked from a job that he had held for over 20 years. No, upturn, upshot, uptake, and upbeat. So this is a bad thing. It's a negative consequence. But basically, I think what we want to say here is the outcome, the result of things was that he was sacked from a job that he had held for over 20 years. I think it's the upshot is the result. No? Yes! 20 out of 20. It's going well. After the football match, the crowds out of the stadium into the nearest bars and cafes. They poured. It's like liquid, no? Decantar, we say. They poured out of the stadiums and into the okay. The weather is going to change soon. I can feel it in my skin, teeth, legs, bones. We say we can feel particularly meteorological changes. We can feel it in our bones, I think. Yeah, well, this is going a lot better than I expected. Sometimes a pension can provide you with a sum on retirement as well as or instead of a monthly income. So when we talk about a big amount of cash that is given to you in the moment that you win it or you're awarded it in some way, we talk about a lump sum. So sometimes when you retire, maybe the day you retire, they'll give you £20,000 or whatever, and then you can have a certain amount of money every month until you die, or maybe there is just a monthly amount, a monthly income, and you don't get a lump sum. But a lump sum is basically the opposite of installments of a certain amount every so often. It's just a big amount of cash in one moment rather than spread over time. Number 24. Most critics praise that actor's work, but I think he's rather... So this is when you think that somebody has a better reputation than they deserve. So I think he's rather overrated. The opposite would be underrated, when we think somebody deserves more praise or deserves more repute than they have. Okay. 25. The Princess's Nanny's autobiography really gives the on life among the royals. It gives the so this expression, know-how is like knowledge, showdown is like a final battle, lookout is like a point from which you can spy on or overlook someone. No, so it's the lowdown. It's like inside information. It gives the lowdown on life among the royals. This book, this autobiography, which is the Princess's Nanny, gives the lowdown on life among the royals. Recently discovered documents credence to Professor Vaughan's interpretation of events. Now, again, this is a collocation. Can it lend credence, provide credence, afford credence, supply credence? It lends, I think. Yes, lend credence. So they give credibility to Professor Vaughan's interpretation of events. So the new documents, the new evidence give credibility. They lend credence to Professor Vaughan's interpretation of events. Okay, so 26 out of 26. We've got more than half of them right. So, you know, I think so far so good. Now, I'm looking forward to meeting your new boss. You've been his praises ever since he arrived. Calling, shouting, singing, crying, you've been singing his praises. No, you've been saying how good he is. You've been giving compliments or speaking well of him. ever since he arrived. You have been singing his praises. Good. Okay. 28. Take care that your love for him doesn't your judgments. Your judgments, no, tu juicio, no, it can be clouded. So your love for him, be careful and take care that your love doesn't cloud your judgments. Yes, darken, shadow, topple. No, to cloud your judgments. Darken, oscurecer, shadow, I guess to like hacer sombra. Topple is an interesting one. That's like usurpar. I don't think, no, any of those would make sense. Maria and Jean had a romance. They met and married within 2 months. Well, this is interesting. They're all sort of climatological terms: a hurricane, a cyclone, a whirlwind, or a typhoon. We say a whirlwind romance. Again, just a collocation, just an expression that we use. It doesn't really need to be translated literally. My sister likes wearing tight tops and close-fitting dresses, but I prefer sweaters and jeans. I prefer shabby. Shabby is like andrajoso. No, it's like not very neat. Floppy is kind of like a rabbit's ears. Floppy, flaccid. Baggy. Flabby means fat. So no, it's baggy. Baggy means loose-fitting, suelto. No, so we would say baggy. Yeah, absolutely. 30 out of 30. I'm doing extremely well here. I'd like to my arguments with an anecdote whose significance will soon become apparent. I would like to predict my argument. No. Announce my argument, possibly. Herald my argument. Preface my argument. Yeah, I think it's going to be preface my argument, because I'm going to give an argument, but before that I'm going to give an anecdote, and then later on in my argument it will become obvious, it will become apparent why I told you that anecdote. So I think it's preface. Yes, 31 out of 31. So 32. I'm sure I was invited to join the committee as the... Now, this is an interesting expression. So, token woman, sample woman, representative, coupon woman. So, when we say that somebody has been selected for something purely because of their race, because of their gender, basically to fill a quota of some kind, here they have asked this woman to be on the board, to become a part of the committee as a token woman, because maybe they had to have a woman, or they felt they needed to have a woman to look good to everyone else. So yeah, it's a token woman. Okay. Do you remember, if any of you watched South Park, the name of the black student in the class is Token. That's the joke. He's called Token because he's the token black kid in the class. Anyway. Anyone who lies under oath will be charged with, the course of judges. Perverting the course of justice. Yes, perverting is a strange word. It's normally used in a more, more to do with sexual crimes. But no, perverting the course of justice is the technical term for when you lie in courts, when you lie under oath. Oath is what you take when you're, before your... trial. You'll raise your right hand, put your right hand on the Bible, or left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. I can't remember how it is. and you take an oath. And if you lie under oath, you have perverted the course of justice. You pervert. The children's interest in playing the game soon stumbled, flagged, tottered, thawed. Stumble is what you do when you trip up. There's an obstacle in your way. And you can stumble physically or metaphorically, I suppose, or figuratively, rather. Tottered is kind of like what a toddler does, like a small child, a big baby. A toddler will sort of wobble, lose their balance. Thaw is what you do with something, you take it out the freezer and it starts to defrost. So thaw is is a synonym of defrost. So no, we would say that your enthusiasm, your interest begins to flag. Yeah, the children's interest in playing the game soon flagged. Yeah, okay. 35. Serena is still ignorant of the fact that she is about to be made redundant. So yeah, there's an expression in English which is ignorance is bliss, which means that to be ignorant sometimes is obviously preferable than to know too much. You don't want to be the man who knew too much. So Serena is still blissfully ignorant. Now she's still happily ignorant of the fact that she is about to be made redundant. To be made redundant means when they, vamos, te van a despedir. No, they're going to give you some money basically to leave your job. She doesn't know that's going to happen. She's still blissfully ignorant of that fact. So, on to number 36, and we are still Invictus. Yes, James never really broke the rules, but he did them a little when it suited them. He did bend them. Yes, we say, okay, there's a rule, you can break the rule. No. Cuando te saltas una regla en inglés, we say that you break it. But well, no, I didn't break the rules. I just bent them a little. No, doblar un poco. No, you bend the rules a little bit. So yeah, there you go. 37. All sides have to accept that the arbitrator's decision will be fixing, tying, binding, or compelling. Will be binding. Yes, it will be binding. Yes, it will be final. It will be absolutely, it will have to be abided by. You will have to obey this decision. And an arbitrator is not the same as árbitro in Spanish, so it's not in sports. An arbitrator tends to be at a tribunal, in a legal case, particularly things like when there is a decision that has to be made by an independent party in a work-related dispute or something like that. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. 38. Not many people are good at assessing their own abilities, and Mark must be for recognizing that he would never become a great musician. Must be merited, advocated, commended, talented. Yes, so when we say that somebody should be commended, I think here is the correct term. He must be commended for recognizing he would never become a great musician. We're saying it, we should praise him. We should say that he should be given some merit. But we unfortunately we don't say he should be merited. We say he should be commended. He should be given merit. Yeah. He should be given credit for recognizing that he is not a great musician. No. Number 39. In her speech, the Prime Minister tribute to the valuable contributions to society made by voluntary organisations. You pay tribute. She paid tribute. No. She paid tribute. She honoured the valuable contributions to society made by voluntary organisations, by charities, by NGOs, non-governmental organisations, I suppose. Okay, number 40, and we still haven't got an incorrect answer. And I promise I haven't looked at this before starting. In fact, I'm 30 years old. I shouldn't be getting any of these wrong. If I do get any wrong, it's very embarrassing, because I do teach C2 level from time to time. So let's see how we do with these final questions. Why not buy the dress on then you can take it back if it doesn't fit your mother? On affection? No. On affirmation? On approval? On agreement? Ooh, I don't know this one. Why not buy the dress on affection? No. Affirmation? On affirmation then. You can take it back. I feel like it's on approval. I think it means that the person that you buy the thing from approves it can be returned. I got it right. I got it right. I don't know how I got that one right. I didn't know that one. It's as if that silly argument we had has driven, between us, and we've lost all our old closeness. So it has divided us. It has driven. So the thing that you put under a door so that it doesn't open or close, you want to stop a door, you put a wedge under it. So it feels like we have driven a wedge between us with that stupid argument, with that silly argument that we have. And we've lost all the closeness, the cercanía that we used to have. Okay. Let's have a look. 42. It's always nice to see Bella. She's such a ray of sunshine. I think it's a ray of sunshine. She's such a ray of sunshine. Yes, correct. Yes. Un rayo de sol. Yes, she's such a ray of sunshine. It means a very positive, nice person. Yeah. 43. A great deal can be about the composer's state of mind from his works at this period. A lot can be implied? No. So we're talking about how the person interprets the composer's state of mind by listening to their work. A lot can be deduced or inferred. I think it's a lot can be inferred. I think it would also be correct to say deduced. It's not comprised and it's not implied. I don't know if it's inferred or deduced. I think I'm going to go with inferred. Oh no! God damn it! I get asked this question all the time. So difference between infer and deduced. So yeah, it's deduced. It's definitely deduced. Yeah. So I got that one wrong, but I need to check infer again, because infer a lot can be. I need to check what the difference is. Maybe infer is just I think infer is similar to imply. And then for some reason I always think that infer is... No, that's right. Okay, so you infer something by something that you do, or a signal or a visual signal that you give. You can infer something. Yeah, of course it's deduced. I got that one right. It's 43 out of 43, not 42 out of 43. Anyway, I'm afraid we got our... crossed. I thought my husband would be picking up the children and he thought I was doing it. So we got our wires crossed. And that's interesting, because in Spanish you say cruzar un cable. It means to get angry. No, your wires crossed and you go crazy. No. When you get your wires crossed in English, we mean that there's confusion. You misunderstood. There was a misunderstanding. Anyway, what do you... as the main issues affecting the situation? What do you perceive, I think, as the main issues? Yeah, what do you perceive as the main issues affecting the situation? Okay, although the twins look identical, they have widely opinions on almost every topic under the sun. They have widely distinct, dissimilar, divergent, distinguished. So it's not distinguished. That would be to say that their opinions are great in some way. Widely distinct, widely dissimilar, widely divergent. I don't think we would say widely distinct. It doesn't sound like the correct collocation. Or dissimilar. I think it's widely divergent. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, their opinions are widely divergent. I say that all the time. Number 47, and I have all of them correct so far. The book to a number of interesting research studies which I would really like to find out more about. You can't cite to a number, you can't declare to a number. Alludes, it alludes to a number. Yeah, it alludes to a number of interesting research studies. Okay, good. Like mentions them or makes some allusion to them. Number 48, the nuclear industry, most of the country's electrical power, generates, engenders, originates, initiates, generates most of the country's electrical power. So am I going to get 50 out of 50 because I don't count? The one that I got wrong was just a silly mistake. I clearly knew the correct answer. Number 49, if you say you'd like of cream on your strawberries, then you don't want very much cream. So if you say you'd like a dash, oodles is a lot, a dollop is a lot, lashings is a lot, so it's a dash of cream. Then you mean you don't want very much cream. Yes, a dash, a little bit. Okay, number 50. This is it, 100% correct. Sources in France suggested that further would be needed before they would agree to a deal. Consolations? No. Concessions? Yes, possibly. Contractions, contortions. We know about Brexit, and the European Union want more and more and more and more and more and more and more concessions because they are a dictatorship. It's a joke. Like and subscribe, please, because that way I can quit my day job. Please let me quit my day job.